top floor. But I took L after L. How am I still winning? On a million, got a couple L's in it. Might have told you that I failed. Never told you that I'm finished. I mean, even Jesus did.
What's going on, you guys? Hey, Shelly. Man, thank you again, brother. I want to talk to you guys about the trailer. So you sent me the script, the breakdown, stuff like that,
Yes.
man. What part of this book is motivating like this trailer? Where are we at? Are we bouncing through chapters, or like how'd you do this?
What I really wanted to do was I really wanted to be able to depict the image of the book. And I watch a lot of book trailers, and a lot of book trailers are pretty simple, very animated. I've worked with enough kids and coached enough kids to be able to get a really good cast. So I was able to get a nice cast together. You were recommended to come and shoot the video. So I'm excited to take a look at it, to have a book trailer that people can see how serious I'm taking this book, how serious and just really to be able to show people what the book is about and give them the imagery of it.
All right, he's playing. Listen, you guys, this dude hit me up. We've had 3 days of shooting. He said, let's do a 1 minute trailer. My man had storyboarding done. We had 3 days of shooting. We had the hospital, cafe, the home. We had about 5 or 6 different locations.
Yeah.
When I talk about I like working with someone that's like really influenced by the details of their own art and their work. One of the things that I really enjoyed being with you working on this trailer was the kids, man. Like, how did you choose the kids that we worked with?
You know, I had illustrations in each chapter of the characters in the image in my head, and I just kind of started going through, either students I've worked with or friends, kids, and just people that I knew would do a great job. But the true surprise to me was Aiden.
Yeah.
And Aiden came in, and I talked to him about Parker, and I talked to him about some of the characteristics that Parker had, and he just listened and he really gave his all. He is, number one, he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
he's going to be he'll be a 5-star, Brandon Huffman, get him now. He is going to be an incredible student athlete. And it was an honor to work with Aiden, and he gave his all.
Yeah, he did.
In the shoot. And so I feel like he really embraced the character Parker, and really did a good job depicting that image.
Yeah, Aiden, I've had a good time working with you too, my man. And by the way, just to let you know, I play with your dad and you're better than him. So shout out to EJ.
Yeah.
And it's been cool too, man. You got an opportunity for this to not be typically what I'm used to when we're going through the audition process and stuff like that. You did really well with picking it. Outside of that, man, I know one of the challenges with working with the youth is really trying to get on board with scheduling and their parents. How did you navigate all of that for people that don't understand, like how to put something like this together?
I just wanted to make sure I had an itinerary and a schedule and give them enough time. I communicated with all the parents, all of the kiddos. A lot of them have 7-on-7, softball. They had all these different things going on. So I communicated with them and the parents and found the open windows of time. But I wanted to make sure they knew when I needed them, what times they were coming, and to make sure that the schedule worked for everyone and they knew ahead of time. And so they really put a lot into it and gave me maximum effort, and I truly appreciate it. I'm just grateful for how things came out.
Great texture is always a part of the thing. When I say that, for me, that's just the word I use to talk about aesthetics, locations, what individuals are wearing and things like that. That process alone is something that you do have to plan for. What was your steps that you took in order to location scout?
So the book takes place in 2010. It's around 2010. So I wanted to make sure that some of the parks and some of the apartment complexes and some of the things weren't as modern, and I wanted to really have that, just that true authenticity of how it's depicted in the book. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And then with these with the kids, to me at this point, they're starting to look like the characters in the book.
Yes.
Now that we've been working with them so long.
Yes.
And things like that. The high school too, Derek Graves, another individual that's a coach.
Coach Graves. Shout out to Coach Graves.
Yeah, so we shot all of this in Stockton, California too.
Yes.
That was one thing. So we're very familiar with the aesthetics of the city, how things look, and just because we did that, we had great resources and were able to tap in and get into the high schools that you guys are seeing inside the trailer. What part of the the trailer for you means the most? Like, where is there like a significant break? If someone's watching this, is there, again, I'm gonna ask you, is there a point where you could be like, when this happens, this is leading to a certain direction, or does the trailer even give away the exact components of the book?
No, I just think it provides elements of what's in the book, and hopefully it brings enough interest, you know, to spike your interest to want to read and go, oh man, that looks like it, you know, that looks like it's going to be a good book. Because after watching a trailer, you're going to think it's a series, or you're going to think it's a movie.
Correct.
You know, and that's even better if you have that, if you feel like that and it's a book, then it's like, I got to go get this book. So I just wanted to make sure that they had that opportunity to see that.
How far can Parker go? Like, I know this is your book, I know it's the first trailer, but how far can Parker go?
Parker's a 12-year-old. He's playing youth football. I've coached youth football, and you know, the next step is always choosing the high school you're going to, and in your whole high school experience. And so that's, you know, there is an epilogue in there that there will be a Parker prep. And so I'll be starting the second book, probably in a few months.
Okay.
I've already kind of been taking some notes, on the direction I want to go. And then hopefully it can move on to a third book, and you never know, it could get picked up as a series, and I'd love to see it on a television series, or I'd love to see it as a movie.
So Parker prep, and then
Parker University.
So Parker might be going to San Jose State?
Well, if listen, if Parker gets that D1 scholarship and that NIL now, right?
Yeah.
Then San Jose State it is. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Listen, you guys know my passion for filmmaking and stuff like that. I have really enjoyed this because of you allowed me to kind of do what I do, but step out differently, because I'm actually bringing to life something visually inside of a book compared to, like, usually when you see this, it's typically there's a book out there already, and then someone writes a screenplay where, you know, you've brought it up in a previous interview before, but you did it quite the opposite. You started with a screenplay, created a novel, and now you're giving yourself some options on whether you want to go as a mini series or possibly put the film out. So
sure.
What's in your heart?
Everything.
Good.
Yeah, as far as it can go, and I just continue to believe in the process, and continue to be innovative and creative, and think of ways to make this thing get more and more legs.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I'm at.
And you brought together a lot of important people, especially in the city, that play big roles. I mean, just the other night we had the opportunity to go work on the voiceover, and we were in the studio with Grammy-nominated Hallway Productions. We're sitting in there with D.
Shout out to Hallway Productions, D Teak.
Yeah, like you're tapping into like resources that are on such levels that people don't know, that everybody that you're working with has done something on a television or radio level of production. You know, what made you use all of your resources at this point?
Well, I mean, it's important for us to be able to rely on each other. I mean, those are networks that you make. Those are brotherhoods that you make. I've also relied on a lot of, you know, the football community to help with different resources and things like that. I've tapped into the music community, and that's how you really capitalize on your resources.
Perfect.